All right, guys, welcome back. It seems like it's been an eternity, but no, I promise, we're back. This is Californiathon 2. In the interest of time, we're going to get right into it, but first, just a quick explanation. So due to some technical issues, we're not going to unfortunately have a true three-player co-op. Instead, we're going to have a two-player co-op, and the three runners are going to be swapping back and forth at certain intervals. So you're still going to see all three runners, but we're just going to be doing things a little bit differently. So without further ado, let's get the run started.
All right. Thank you for your patience. Shout out to Xbox Live.
Xbox Live, please.
Alright, we can just get into the run and explain stuff as we go.
I guess the guy on deck can explain. How about that?
Sure.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Are you guys ready? Are we ready in the back here? You guys have your
Yep.
equipment all set up? Equipment's good? Alright.
Runners are ready. Kai's on commentary. Let's go.
Alright. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Can we get a countdown here?
All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so things are going to go really fast, so I'm going to have to kind of speed through some stuff. So this is Castlevania Harmony of Despair. It is an Xbox Live arcade game and on PSN. You can think of it as almost like a greatest hits of a lot of the Metroidvania games kind of mashed together. It's basically Konami YY World 3. But it's really awesome. There's tons of characters that you can pick. We're going to be seeing a lot of Soma in this because he's by far the most dominant character in the game. Pretty much the only other character that can compete would be Julius. Unfortunately, because of the way we set this up, probably not going to be seeing Julius. So you're seeing a lot of dive picking. Dive picking is the fastest method of movement, like normally, without doing anything crazy or having a special ability. You're also seeing them throw a skull. The skull is called Yorick. What's really awesome about Yorick is that you can actually dive pick off of the skull for extra height. And that extra dive pick height is a huge source of a lot of the sequence breaks for the characters, particularly Soma. However, other characters can utilize it too, but just the fact that Soma can create his own dive kick platform is so powerful. So right now, you notice that Rom died, and it's unfortunate, but the thing is they're wearing a piece of armor called the Berserker Mail. The Berserker Mail causes you to get 150% damage from all of your sources, but you also take an extraordinary amount of damage. If they get hit by basically any boss in the game once, they die. If they get hit by other enemies 1 to 3 times, they die. So it's really important if you run Berserker Mail to be extremely careful about how you approach stages. So there's Gurgoth. He gets crushed pretty easily.
So with this Berserker Mirror they're wearing, they're also using the Valman Wave +1, which, as you see, hits like a truck and can be mashed like crazy. So that's how you're going to see a lot of these boss fights. It's not all of them, but most of them are going to die this way. And Romscat's swapping out for Turbo Dog right now. Tag team in.
All right, so
WWE.
Let's start. Stage 2 is going to be an instance where you get to see the first amount of zipping in the game. Hopefully. Actually, there's some luck based in it, but that's fine. So on Turbo Dog's end, starting the player 2 position, he's going to be able to get an Ice Demon to follow him, and these enemies dive at you, and the main thing that's letting him zip when we get there is that he's wearing something called Feather Gear, which is double knockback. And with double knockback in a really tiny corner that he's going to go into, that can push you through a wall sometimes. So there is some luck going on there. On Mecha's end, he's basically already gotten to the boss door. The stage normally is like, I don't know, a minute and a half, but can be under a minute with really good luck with this zip. And we got perfect luck, actually.
GG.
We never ever see that.
Go.
Alright, so now Mecha, right below Turbo Dog here, is actually fighting the boss already. And that's like probably one of the best times we've gotten on this.
See ya.
I was listening at this IL now, man.
See ya. Sorry. I'm on it. Crap.
Please don't walk into the thing. I will punch you.
Sorry.
Alright. So yeah, we got under a minute.
You got retro daggers. Some, right? Can you do...
Yeah, I have some retro daggers. Yeah, you just do this.
Okay.
You just do it. Switch to
anyone, whatever. Do you have anyone with 2?
I think Jonathan. Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right. So this next stage is another thing we're going to be doing a sequence break, and the way it works is that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can play. But yeah, so Turbo Dog from the player 2 position is going to actually activate a boss that you're normally supposed to go around and hit in the face once to make him wake up. He's actually going to do a trick that involves throwing knives through the... Oh, I'm over here, hi. Involves throwing knives through the floor. And you play fully zoomed out? Also, what is your York? Okay.
Oh, you gotta change it. I think I set it to default.
Whatever. We just throw the thing now. I'm good. I can catch up to him.
Sorry,
Okay. How do you play this zoomed out?
I don't. I change it.
This boss is called Menace, and he's really big, so so much is going to use the Valman Way and a Medusa head soul to float right there,
Oh my God,
destroy the heart and head thing.
Help me, Turbo. I have a potion. We're using it.
And then you got to kill the kneecap.
Should be okay.
Watch the flavor.
Remember what Turbo said earlier, if any boss touches you, you're dead. Guaranteed. So with a boss as big as this,
All right.
it's really sketch.
Who's doing Gurgoth?
I'll shoot Gurgoth.
Okay.
Oh. No, I can just stay here.
Okay.
It's fine. Change character. Alright.
So in this next section, this is probably one of my favorite levels, mainly because even before I started looking at the real speedrun strats for it, I started to develop my own stuff to sequence break a lot of this. So the intended way to do this stage is you're just supposed to go all around the level, going through different mirrors to reach other mirrors, pulling switches to change which mirrors allow you to teleport where. But it turns out when you can make your own platforms like Soma, or you can drag a demon for an additional
I have Dracula on. Awesome. Alright, you're killing stuff.
So it turns out when you have the ability to make your own platform, you can break this stage super hard. So it turns out the mirror that's just above them right now is basically the last mirror they have to enter. So using a nice little boost there from the York Skull, they're able to just completely skip the entire level and head basically straight to the boss. Another example of using dive kicks really effectively. If you didn't do this, like if you didn't have Yorks, you would have to drag a fire demon in order to dive kick. So Bronner, he just hasn't been working out since
I'm on
working
it.
over
I'm on it.
Alright guys, time for some donations if you
Come on,
guys. Since
dude.
you guys got a menu now?
Sure, you can go ahead and do that. Chapter 5 is pretty self-explanatory, just rushing and beating down death, a Castlevania favorite. So go ahead, Darkman.
Sweet. So let's catch up on some of our donations. We did have a $50 anonymous donation, so thank you very much. No message. We did have a $100 donation from someone named Rom Scout. And he said In-N-Out has the best burgers. And
I agree.
if I'm not mistaken, that means Shadow has absolutely trounced the name of In-N-Out over Darkman. So rip
Yes.
me. Thank you very much, Rom Scout. We also had a $30 donation from P.I. Kitsune. It says 15K? 15K! Let's go chat. Shoutouts to Mr. Shasta and the rest of the staff for running a great event. And thanks to the runners for playing video games fast for our enjoyment. And we also had a $50 donation from Kitaru. So thank you very much, everybody, for your donations.
I am not used to
So what I was trying to do, like right at the start there, I failed miserably. I was trying to
kill the imp behind you.
I was trying to corner boost off the pendulums, which is really hard to do, but it helps propel me forward by quite a bit.
So I guess we should kind of explain what a corner boost is here. I mentioned that dive kick is kind of one of the better base movement abilities inside of the game. What happens is if you dive kick near the corner or edge of a platform, you get an extraordinary amount of momentum carried into like this sideways movement. It's very, very fast, and you want to try to implement that as much as you can at any given time. But it's very difficult to do consistently. Later on, we'll be seeing another exploitation of that kind of momentum mechanic.
How's he not dead yet? We're wearing feather gear!
Oh, well.
That's why I was like, what?
Okay, swap it out. You guys are on for 6 also.
Okay.
I'm gonna hide up here.
So,
If you thought Soden was broken, well,
I gotta stay up.
so
Yeah.
we're going to hit this next thing, hopefully, in the next stage. Mecha's going to give attempts at it, called the acceleration glitch. And interestingly enough, it also involves falling off of a platform with certain animations and jumping just as you're about to fall off. And that causes some interesting results, so we'll have to see if he's able to hit it right here.
And I'll just be going through the stage normally, essentially as a backup. So, it's still, this stage can be beaten in less than a few minutes, even normally. And on my end, I'd be using some stuff like Puppet Master to go through enemies at a certain point. That's kind of cool.
So we're going to try to follow Mecha Richter for the first little bit here, just to see if he gets this pretty quickly.
Oh,
And,
God.
the interesting part here is Mecha Richter is actually changing the orientation of his analog stick and then using his D-pad to dive kick. That gives him significantly different dive kick angles than you would get on a normal D-pad or just using the analog alone. That's kind of one of the linchpins to allowing this trick to work.
This is like really cool.
That was kind of close. He got caught on the ledge there, which was the main issue. He wants to zip past that if possible. Alright, we're going to go ahead and swap over to Rom Scout, since he's about halfway through the stage now. We'll be able to see kind of how he tackles this area. So Valenway, in addition to doing crazy amounts of damage, is very, very powerful in that it threatens a very large section of area in front of him. So, you know, Soma not only has this very, very powerful work ability, but he also has this massive hitbox that does tons of damage for his melee attack as well. It's very, very strong. I would like to mention that you can easily play this game with other characters and find some really, really cool speed strats. It's just, you know, you have to concede that sometimes, like, Soma or Julius is just going to do a lot of things better than other characters. But there's still a lot of really competitive and interesting things you can do with the rest of the cast. Unfortunately, again, because of the setup, we weren't able to see some of the other characters that I had on my Xbox, but, you know, maybe for another time, who knows.
You're welcome to use my Fuma on 11 if you want.
Alright. So Mecha wasn't able to quite hit the acceleration glitch. It's usually easier to hit that with 3 or more players due to the increased latency.
Nice.
Xbox Live. Ooh, that's...
Well, that's Berserker Mail.
Alright, so...
What should I do?
Go ahead and swap. Swap to Mecha. We're going to give this, like, a little bit more.
This is, yeah, you can obviously see how difficult this is to nail. Like, if the angle changes by just even a hair, it throws the whole thing off.
All right.
The music just adds to it, the intensity.
Do we want to sacrifice a death and restart stage?
Probably have to.
Probably,
Go
yeah.
for it.
Alright.
Death's on the right side.
This will be a last try.
So, for the purposes of this, because we want to continue and, you know, finish in a reasonable time, we're going to go ahead and force a death here, just so that Mecha can still work on his attempts, but Rom needs to be alive to kill Drac if, you know, that's the backup.
I'll zoom in more on this one. That way I don't
have any
run
donations
into
to
him.
read out?
So yeah, one thing with this game is that I tend to play very zoomed out, but just because it's easier to see more space that you're working with. But when you're a little far away from the monitor, it might make that difficult.
Take a couple seconds if you guys don't mind.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So this is Californiathon 2. We are live in Santa Clara, California. Who would have thought Californiathon's in California? We are in the Marriott in Santa Clara. We are raising money for Direct Relief, which is a charity that helps out people in need. They help out with issues such as poverty, disasters, emergency issues like, you know, hurricanes, earthquakes. They help out with things like maternal and child health care. So a great cause, the fantastic charity. They are rated a perfect 100 out of 100 on Charity Navigator. It's a pretty good score, you know, so... definitely, please donate. We appreciate all your donations. And just to remind you, we do have the upcoming Final Fantasy VI name incentives. You know, a lot of these donations still, they're very small. Like, we're talking about $1, $2, $3 are the totals in the lead. So, check it out, see what you can donate for. You never know what you'll be able to win. I mean, $2, that's not a lot to donate to. So, yeah, please keep the donations coming. Thank you.
So yeah, and as I mentioned, and this is really something that you need to get used to a lot, is the difference between having like a single player, 2-player, or 3-player plus lag. And like these acceleration glitches are much easier to hit the more players you have, just because of the more Xbox Live tries to adapt to how many players you have. But you can hit them without it. It gets harder and harder every time you do it. For the purposes of Chapter 10, we will actually be implementing strategies to maximize the amount of lag on screen to try and initiate a skip there.
Potion this time. Attack boost.
I don't get this.
This long slumber has given me strength.
Okay, so this time it won't get hit. Oh, same spot. Good. I'll just play it safe.
It's over.
Oh.
Oh god.
Oh.
So this is a thing that can happen. Here's the problem with this. Rom actually can't deal any damage to the boss. And the boss can't do any damage to him.
So if you could like see on my screen, he's up there, but Rom Scout can't actually hit him. So
And I can't die either.
So, okay.
Disconnect?
I have an idea.
Oh.
I wonder if this will cause more lag.
Zoom out too.
Just no. I'm gonna switch to Soma.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
We need to
We
disconnect.
need to disconnect anyway.
Oh my god.
Alright, rehost me.
Or
So what happened there? So what happened there is because Rom has no effective way of killing himself in that situation. So like, there's just no way around it. You need to exit out.
This happens every once in a while because Xbox Live is the greatest service on Earth.
Yeah. So
Just a reminder.
Switch screens.
So Rom has no.
Do you want me to host
no
you?
way that he can kill himself in that situation. So the only way that we would be able to restart the stage is for Mecha to kill himself multiple times in order to run out the timer. And this is actually the faster solution. It's unfortunate that it had to happen in this one. Most of the time it only happens to like when you're on 3 or more players and it's only on one person. But we're going to go ahead and run double Soma just to go ahead and grind through
Yeah,
the stage
alright.
real fast.
We're ready for the stage now.
Yeah, really sorry about that. Like it
just happens on this game
yeah,
sometimes.
in RPB, I got it like almost immediately. So it's really unfortunate, but that's the problem with running this game. It's really difficult.
All right, so Chapter 6, Take 3.
Also, every once in a while, you can change the voice actors to Japanese by like holding right trigger. So I just do that sometimes. Usually, I forget that I'm doing it out of habit. So that's why it changes every once in a while.
Huh.
Besides the non-existent Dracula thing, there's also another funny glitch that might happen in this run is where one of the runners just spawned dead. They begin the stage dead.
Yeah, that one's a lot more uncommon, but it does happen, which is kind of... It's funny until you're actually trying to put in attempts. And then all of a sudden you're having a really good time, and then one of you just spawns dead, and you're like, well, time to trash this run.
I spawned petrified once on a stage where you can't get petrified.
I don't know, man. Every time I play with Rom Scout, I end up dead at least one time.
I want to remind everybody right now, Setzer
Just jumped off.
is named
Okay, we have to
Hackman
jump
for
at the same
$1.
time.
That's it, $1. If you donate
No.
$2, you can name Setzer whatever you want. 7-character limit, of course. The same applies for Realm.
Here, I'll kill him for you.
How about Locke?
Since you
Locke.
prefer doing that.
You can be Locke. Don't you want to be Locke? Donate $2 now. Thank you.
Yeah, so wait and see. The other players, they just kind of zip around.
It's a very interesting experience as a spectator. It's the first time to see it.
Okay, will I be able to see him this time? The big question.
What?
Huh. Interesting.
Question mark.
Please don't. So we just...
Let's just do chapter 7.
This is...
Xbox Lives, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, he's taking damage.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter? It doesn't count? Okay. Okay. Huh.
Alright.
Never
You're gonna be player
ever
two, right?
seen this many
Yeah.
problems on this.
You can do it. You can do it. Unless you don't want to.
No, I can get it.
Okay.
Mecha, do you feel comfortable going Richter on 7? Solo?
Yeah, we're just
wanna have a
reconnecting
discussion
because, you know, Rom's
Or
got
no,
the
'cause you
disconnects.
have a-
Nothing's wrong, so don't panic. We'll be back in a couple
I
seconds.
can try.
Yeah, Marathon Luck is not necessary for CVHD. CVHD has its own luck. Whatever you want to call this.
Give me Hero Dracula.
Yeah.
So wait, where am I supposed to go then?
7.
Yeah, I know, but I mean... If I'm gonna be Richter.
Let's go.
Give yourself at least one sub-weapon. That's good.
Well, I just want to say we have a very special $50 donation from 1-800-BombAssPizza.com. You know, he says, I like my speedruns like I like my pizza. Bomb. Etc., etc. I'm not going to finish that.
What's Acer Robinson?
I think three of them.
Down is
Everything
what?
but down is Globus.
Okay. Alright, so why don't you talk about what Shinoa can do, since this is the first time we're going to see her. It's going to be on my screen on the right. That is not Acerbatus. Acerbatus is down.
Oh, Acerbatus down. Maybe 3 of them are Globus then. Alright, anyway, so Shinoa has a Magnus ability, which lets her grab onto hooks and makes the climb outside a lot faster and easier. Sometimes that harpy that was on Turbo's screen decides to chase you, though, as a result. But what they're trying to do is get to a switch in the middle of the screen, or the middle of the area, and when Mecha hits his switch, Turbo's going to be able to get through this door, and then that switch that's right on the other side of the door is where... Oh, okay. Well, we got... Oh.
Second.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Alright, so now the boss door is open. There's an elevator right by the boss that works that wasn't previously available. And it's much faster to do this stage multiplayer than single player.
You want to follow Mecha? Or, his...
Yeah.
So Mecha's going to hit the boss fight significantly faster than me. I'm also going to pick up a healing water here, just in case he takes a death. We can resurrect him.
Yeah.
Mecha is going to be by far the vast majority of the damage in this fight, due to Astarte's weakness to holy water. I'm going to be passing off to Realm Scout because I'm pretty terrible at Astarte, to be completely honest. She's a really difficult boss. I'm going to kind of shut up so these guys have appropriate audio cues.
Okay. I think DC in here.
She is trolling so hard right
You don't belong in this.
That was a good fight.
now. That was a horrible battle. Wow.
Got me to get 8 also.
No one
do
died
you
and no
wanna
one
do
got
that route?
charmed.
Go
That
to
is
the
a
right.
great fight.
You're both going to go for the right?
No, I was gonna go to the right. But I don't have anyone that can go to the left that you know, I don't think. I guess you have...
I can do that.
All right, we have an intense bid war
Do-
going
do-
on
do
because
not
we have
do
a
the full range,
$2
right?
donation
Yeah.
from Anonymous that
Do-
says,
do
I
the-
want to
do
be
the left
Locke.
one, do the
So
boss
here's
one.
$2 to name him I'm Locke. So there you go. I'm Locke is now in the lead. But if you donate $3, you can be in the lead. Ooh. We also have a $16 anonymous donation that says, let's name Realm something appropriate. PJD board. Thank you.
Agreed.
So we had So we only caught it for a moment there, but what Rom was doing with Shinoa is the backdash canceling that you might be familiar with some of the other DS games. And all that is when you attack, you can cancel an attack with a backdash. You can cancel a backdash with a crouch, and then you can restand. So what he's doing is attack, backdash, crouch, stand, repeat. And he does that kind of very quickly over and over again. It allows him to attack much, much faster than intended. So here comes another clip, hopefully. Rom Scout is going to fire a very strategically placed Dracula spell, which is going to hit the demon on the left. That's going to aggro him so that he's able to use him for a very similar skip to the one we used in Chapter 2.
Oh my goodness. I want to get the health. Oh, I do have one healing item. Yeah, okay.
So he needs to kind of hope that that happens. So excellent. First try is really good. So he's going to clear him out. Mech, on the other hand, is going to the other side. He needs to hit a mandatory switch in order to open up the boss door at the very end, and that's why he's sidetracked to the other side. Mecha's kind of out of the rest of the stage, unless Rom has a lot of trouble on the boss. But, you know, we're going to be watching him pull the switch, and then Rom's going to finish up this stage while Mecha plays catch-up. Alright. So Rom's going to enter this mirror at the top, and he should be very close to the boss afterward. Picking up a nice little safety pizza. Pizza well known in ancient Wallachia as being in tombs and crypts. Pick up the blue. What? Pick up the blue on the left afterward. So, what Rom is using is Retro Medusa Head. Medusa Head allows you to freeze in midair and continue your offensive pressure against Grand Flute and other bosses. Whatever. This allows you to get away with a lot of very, very aggressive strategies on a lot of otherwise very, very problematic bosses.
Red Granthaloon.
He's pretty much the only character that has an effective way of dealing damage to things that are kind of elevated off the ground very, very fast. Other characters have to work way harder. So, Chapter 9. So what do you know about Chapter 9, Kai?
The magical carpet ride, as we call it.
Well, we're not going to see Magic Carpet Ride yet, but if you want to go ahead and talk about kind of the path we take. No, go ahead.
Alright, Chapter 9. We'll get there when we get there,
Oh yeah,
but
you're better 10, and then you can pass off.
who likes Symphony of the Night? No hype for that? Symphony of the Night, come on. Because it's literally the entrance of Symphony of the Night. I'm not even joking. There's some subtle differences here and there, but so as you see, they're just gonna bull rush through pretty much all this first, and then it becomes the most insane platformer you'll see in a while for considering a Castlevania game. So yeah, you jump up here through the side, kill a Slogra, and as you see, there's a hanging spike wall thing and bricks. So they're going to traverse all these bricks up, and oh crud, there's some pendulums that might kill you in one hit or two.
So the bricks that they're jumping on currently are breakable, so they cannot stand on them too long.
Your character zipping around on my screen is so distracting.
Okay, they managed to get through the climb, so that's good. I mean, it's not super difficult, but there is a lot of pressure because if you fail that one or two ties, like you can't do it again. Bricks.
I'll go bottom. I'll go bottom.
Okay. I'd like to give a shout out to a couple of people in the CVHD Discord that helped a ton for getting us geared up for this event. Red Aramer, CO, XUW 9000, Zujin, Kayanaka, who's actually really, really good at this game. The new game. Just tons of people. I can't possibly think of them. Thank you all so much. I mean, I'll be real. I grinded this game for about 200 hours for the last 2 months just to get geared up and to get prepared for this event. And they helped a lot, giving me a lot of advice and, you know, grinding through the stages with me to get gear. So
I also joined in on that, and I was spent pretty much the same, if not just probably a little less than Turbo Dog, trying to grind out just getting the most dumbest things in this game.
Alright. Still Final Guard?
All right, real quick, we have a $10 donation from Choto the Bright. Hello again, Choto the Bright here. Hi. This will probably be my last donation of the marathon, so let's put these 10 buckaroos towards naming Locke and FF6 Choto. I hope this is enough. P.S. I'll never let go. I promise. Thank you. And that puts Choto in the lead at $10. It's nice, but hey, I think that can be beaten if somebody wants to beat that.
So this is Chapter 10.
Yeah, so this is a remake of Castlevania 1. It's actually a really well put together stage
That you're not going to play.
Yeah, it's actually a really well put together stage that has like bosses from every single one of the stages. It's a pretty good throwback, except you're not going to do any of that because they're going to be doing the acceleration glitch, and you'll start to see they're throwing plants, and that's actually just to make the game lag enough to make the acceleration glitch more likely to work. You see he's throwing a Puppet Master, and the Puppet Master lets you jump off to the side and dive kick, and it'll simulate you doing a really long fall so that when you get to the edge of the platform you have enough momentum to attempt this easier, and he got it. So now he's going to be fighting Dracula.
So who likes Gradius? Because that's what you're going to see.
Yeah, they made Dracula a little harder than CV1.
So as you see,
Slightly.
he switched weapons. He's no longer using the Valman way. He's using the Muramasa +1. You want to explain more about that, Rom, and how long it took you to farm that?
Yeah, it probably about 200 hours by itself, just trying to get that item. But so what he's doing with the Muramasa +1, you'll see him backdash canceling like I did with Shinoa earlier. He has to try and get as many hits in with that as possible. So you'll see him just like spamming it like crazy. He's also throwing the Buer, which is the little flame. Oh god.
Ukabak.
Where am I? Ukabak, sorry, not Buer.
This is really bad.
What? We're fine.
Okay.
Right. So,
There's a bad glitch there.
So if you're like out of the I guess boundaries, but like if you're in the lobby room, like before you get into Drax chamber, he doesn't like that, so he like throws some pinwheels, and it just like goes through everything.
that's a very good fight.
Not bad. Dracula Soul.
Hey, nice rare drop, dude.
Yeah. Should I just do the last stage?
Go for it.
Okay.
You guys got this. Who you're gonna do decap, right?
Oh,
So this next stage isn't
yeah,
exactly a Castlevania-based stage.
Okay.
It's from a game called Getsu Fuma no Den.
Yes. Ox Chimeriad.
So this might be a little different from what you guys are used to seeing
Okay, well, this
prior to
one-
Castlevanias.
So we're having to kind of like, we did develop 2-player strats for this game, so like we know kind of what we're gonna do and how we're gonna approach stages, even though we lost the 3rd player. So that's why we're kind of trying to communicate right now who's going where right now.
Reminder that Xbox Live is greatest service.
I think we're good. I'm like triple checking, but I think we're good.
Yeah, I'm really paranoid about what I have in this.
Just a real quick one to remind everybody that the file names still are all open, and they do not close until a few minutes before we actually have to name the character. So you can still get your donations in for all those file names.
All right, so Darkman, you're pretty well versed in quite a few Nintendo games. Have you ever heard of a little gem called Getsu Fuma Den?
That sounds vaguely familiar, yes.
It is a Famicom-only game that this stage is actually remixed off of. It has a pretty sweet tune to it, probably the best tune music piece in the game, probably. Yeah, something like that.
I recognize this.
Yeah, this is also a very, very difficult stage to do normally. To give you an idea of how this works, from the central platform that ROM is coming to, the yellow zone, there are 3 directions, up, down, and left. Each of those leads to a path for a boss. You must defeat all 3 of those bosses to open up 3 doors to the final boss, and then you have to defeat Ryo Kotsuke, who himself has 3 forms. There's a lot of very, very difficult things that you have to deal with inside of this stage, let alone the Berserker offer that they're running.
So Rom is fighting Decapiclops right now, and as you see, he doesn't like staying still, so keeping still. Oh god, you killed it
That's how you do
fast.
it, dude.
So you see kind of these little wisps flying across the stage. What happens is after you kill each boss, the remaining bosses level up, and they get different attacks and level up the attacks they have to be more deadly. So it's kind of important to kill them in a certain order. By killing Chimeria at last, which is the person that Mecha is headed to right now, his most devastating of forms. Decapiclops gets exploding shots. Ox gets swords all over the place. Chimeria's most dangerous form is upside down Chimeria.
But he has to take about a few seconds, you'll see right here, to actually turn upside down, and he's just getting hit the whole time.
Yeah.
So on Rom's screen now, he's headed to the final boss, Ryukosuke. This boss can either be the easiest or one of the hardest, depending on what he wants to do.
Yeah, this final boss. This boss, not so much. In the second part, the third boss, you have to have him punch and expose his arc to hit him. And he can do about 3 different moves that do not do that.
Meet my final form.
Okay,
Double.
Double? Oh, not duplicate. Okay, so we get a nice spread shot.
Oh, oops.
Okay, do you have a water?
Get a
Yeah,
water.
I grabbed one.
Okay.
I also have one, in case you
Be careful
die
on the
after.
way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let me know when it's safe.
Okay, so because Rom died, Mecha picked up a healing water, and Rom does have another healing water. So as long as Mecha can get in the room okay.
Go.
Alright, so we're back in business.
More Gradius. He just shoots a
Should be
lot of
dead.
things.
See? Nope. Of course he wouldn't make it that easy.
One more.
This is a fight I remember.
Alright, very good.
Horrible pattern.
Alright, so time's gonna be once they open up the chest here. Time. 45-41. Underestimate.
Underestimate. Technically.
With one stage skip, but that is still a very good run, boys.
Yeah, given that we had, like 4 times we had to retry Chapter 6 to
The
make
Dracula.
it work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that went pretty well in most of the stages.
Shout outs to tethering phones.
So I mentioned kind of the guys in the CDHD Discord. Any people that you'd like to shout out? In particular, the old
Yeah,
guys.
I mean, like, Aftermath and PJ played this game with us, like, hundreds, if not thousands of hours, and we've had, like, we keep coming back to this game, even though it's nonsense, and you can see that from the run, but, yeah, I mean, those are 2 people that I definitely have to give a shout out to, who weren't mentioned in Turbo's list.
Yeah, it was actually, like, it was this game that introduced me to PJ from the first time. Because I was just playing the game, and Aftermath was, I think I mentioned it on SDA at one point, and he said, we should play this, and then PJ just kind of joined, and it went from there, so, yeah.
So you have this game to thank for all the broken appliances that you have.
Yeah, and all the electrical failures.
I blame this game for my Xbox problems now, dude.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we still have an active CVHD community, if you ever want to play this with us, and hopefully not have Dracula go invisible.
Yeah, so just lots of people out there. If you're at all interested in the game, as we mentioned, we have a CVHD Discord. You can get in touch with any of the people here, and we can send you links for it. The other thing that I would mention is, if you're interested in this game also, there are so many people that are extremely talented that do individual level runs for this game on YouTube. You can easily put in just about any character in CVHD, and there will be something out there.
There's an IL for every character, and also this game is also on PS3, so even if you don't own the Xbox 360, you can go farm it on PS3 as well.
All right. Any other closing notes, guys?
Let's hit 15,000. Come on.
But more importantly, let's hit 14,420 first.
Oh yeah, I took the words out of my mouth. Thank you, Rom Scott. Let's push for 15,000. Yeah, I just want to remind everybody, we do have coming up next the finale of the marathon, Final Fantasy VI. And speaking of finale, did you know there are character names to donate for? If you didn't know by now, have you not been listening to me? Anyway, Tara has a really close war between waifu and waifu backwards. $20 for waifu and backwards waifu for $21. Locke is also, we have Choto in the lead at $10 over the next one. I'm Locke at $2. Both of those names are basically going to close as soon as we start Final Fantasy VI, so get your donations in. But if you don't want to donate for those, you can also donate for things like Edgar, who only has PPMA as $2. That's a fantastic name, but you can donate more if you want. Also, Sabin at Randy S at $1. So things like that. So please donate towards those. And yeah, so we're going to be setting up for Final Fantasy VI very shortly.
No, do Shinoa and Grando at BDC.
So before we close out CVHD, we have a little parting gift as for saying sorry for this long setup that happened.
Yeah.
So
Should be good.
So do you guys want to see what this game
Do
sounds
chapter
like?
10.
So you want to see how badly this game can lag in something even resembling normal play? Here's a nice example of it. So
They might not expect you to BDC, honestly.
Oh no, that was intended. It's all intended gameplay.
Oh, okay.
Acceleration glitches, everything.
I hope we can.
Oh, it'll lag.
It'll lag.
It'll lag.
Didn't quite get the crash.
What move was it?
Grando.
Yeah, so somebody has
Alright. Oh, I know. It's because my down is. Alright, we're fine. Alright.
So
I
if
guess
you
it's
do
not
that
going to
with,
crash
like,
at 2 players.
If you do that with about 4 players and just backdash cancel Granda, the game can actually legitimately just crash and hard lock your Xbox. It's also pretty sweet with Yoko. You can do it with Holy Lightning.
shout out to Reddit. I remember crashing my Xbox twice with Holy Lightning.
And making Chapter 7 just deplorable.
Well, alright. Thank you, everyone. That was a lot of fun. Even though we had our issues.
We're never submitting this to a marathon version.
Nope.